You got a little bit better start tonight than last night, did you feel like? And were able to kind of keep going from there?
I did. You know, last night, when you play Bemidji as often as we have over the years, formula is not letting them get a lead because they're so good with it. And so, you know, we had a fortuitous bounce. Found a way to get a puck, and then Charlie finished. And the thing I liked is we extended it, you know, and those were two real nice plays to extend it. And then I thought we kind of relaxed. Then they put a push on, and you know, it's a good weekend for us. Really good weekend for us. Knock on wood, we didn't have any injuries other than what happened last night with a check from behind on Dallas. But hopefully he'll get better this Sunday, Monday, and we'll go from there.
What went into the decision to start Izzy tonight and talk about his play?
Well, a couple of things. One, his practice habits haven't changed. He's always preparing. Second thing is we were in a point tonight where, you know, you never know what's going to happen going down the road in playoffs. And he had not played since December 15th. And wanted to get him a game so that he's not real rusty if we need him in the playoffs. Dryden had been playing very, very well, but we needed to get Matthias a game because, one, he was, I think, again, prepared for it, and two, like I said, you never know what's going to happen in the playoffs, so we needed to get him a game, and I thought he played very well. You know, poised. A little too poised for me when he decided to play the puck on the penalty kill, but you know what, it worked. So I'm happy for him because he does really put a lot of effort and energy into what he does every day to be prepared to get the call like he did tonight.
To win the game, starting, you know, a guy who hadn't played for a while, but also putting in a couple players who haven't played for a while, either mixing up your lineup, whether it's for senior night and a guy being injured, does that kind of give you a little bit of even a little bit more relief going forward into the playoffs, and just knowing you guys are able to do that with, you know, with some of those changes?
Well, I think what it shows, first of all, for the two guys you're talking about in Vanko and Schwalbe is they've still respected, as with Israelson, the preparation that you need to go through, that if your number's called, you need to be physically and mentally prepared to go out and compete. And those guys showed that tonight, and not a lot of people get to see that. Both those guys, anything that we've asked them to do, behind the scenes, extra workouts so that they're physically prepared to go out and play if we need them, that showed tonight. And I'm happy for them. I thought they both did a good job. And, you know, now you know we've got some opportunities if needed. We can go to those guys as far as lineup's concerned.
Last question for me is just Connor Mackey has 2 assists tonight. He seems like he's kind of getting better and better as the season's gone on, and, you know, pretty nice play to Walker for that goal. And you know, just him and just your defense in general, how's that been improving over the last, you know, maybe month or so?
Well, first of all, Connor, I thought it was a big time play to Walker and big time shot by Walker too. But from my end of it, I think Connor's just is a guy that he studies the game. He's okay evaluating himself. He knows what makes him good. One thing he's been working on is just trying to keep his feet moving, because when he's in motion, he makes a lot of good decisions and gets himself in real good spots in the rink. He's done that, and I'm happy that he's being rewarded point-wise, but for me, it's his all-around game. He's building confidence, I think, as the second half of this season's gone on. We're going to need him to do that in the playoffs.
Hey, thanks for passing the microphone. I got a question for you, Mike. It's a overall coaching philosophy sort of question. A little maybe deep from after a game like this, but see what you can do. Kind of one of the questions among the Twin Cities media is, gee, look at all these young coaches getting big breaks in the Twin Cities. Like, you know, PJ Fleck is 30-something, and, you know, Lindsey Whalen's 30-something, and Rocco, he's, you know, the new manager of the Twins is only 37. And it's kind of like, gee, is there a generational shift happening where you bring in these younger coaches who, you know, maybe can relate to the modern athlete better? Just curious, is there anything that you've changed as you matured as a coach in the way you deal with players? Things that maybe when we were growing up, a coach could do to you versus nowadays you just wouldn't approach a situation like that? Anything off the top of your head?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm not 30-something. I know there's no confusion there.
Like a Sean McVay went to the Super Bowl. Remember, he's 33 years old. He's all the rage, a young hot guy, and he gets his lunch handed to him by a 66-year-old coach with a 41-year-old quarterback.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I think the most important piece that I've learned over time is just the players are the most important aspect of everything that we're doing, and so anything that I can do to help build the relationship with each one of our players, to understand them better, to communicate with them, talk to them about how they like to be handled. The old idea of there being a dictatorship, it's I'm not going to say it's a democracy, but I'm going to tell you it's closer to that. Because the better we can relate to our players with our staff, communicate with them, and tend to what, the one thing they like asking, why? Back in our day, you couldn't ask why. It wasn't that wasn't the way it went, and so to me, we're okay with them asking why. I want them to ask why, and multiple times as a staff, we look at it and say, hey, how would you like to be handled as far as the coach-player relationship? Because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is that we're on the same page. And so as long as that happens, we're okay with trying to be as communicative and as flexible as we possibly can.
Kevin and Constantine calls them the cell phone generation. So how do we get past the idea of these kids have a cell phone, they can look up whatever they need to know? That's why he was on the same thing. The idea about why.
But for me, again, it goes back to the, you've got to build relationships with them. Players. Yeah, you better. Because they're the ones that are out there doing the work, and our job's to try and relate to them, and that's more on myself and our staff than it is on the players. And one thing that helps that is the leadership group that we've been blessed with over the years since I've been here. Guys are okay with taking responsibility at helping us coach, and helping the message get distributed throughout your team. And without that, it's a lot harder. So we've been fortunate with the guys that Todd Connaught and Darren Blue brought in, Todd being our recruiting coordinator. There's a lot of good human beings that don't mind helping with everything that has to get done as far as us trying to be successful.
All right, thanks, Hasty.
Thanks, PA.